What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again from another angle of my room. Jeez, hitting the board. Trying to get this camera to work is bizarre because it needs to face a certain angle now, apparently, because I just can't get it to stay straight, so now I've got it on an angle. The next series of my playoff previews, we got Florida and Tampa. Number 1 in the Atlantic versus the 4 in the Atlantic, also the first wild card in the eastern side of the bracket. Then for the third iteration of the Battle of Florida, Florida is the top seed once again for their Battle of Florida. It's the third time they're in, the third time they're the top seed. Yet they're still yet to beat them. 52, 24, and 6, 110 points, a much better season than regular season than last season. However, not close to where they were during President's Trophy 2 years ago. For Tampa, they were 45, 29, and 8, 98 points, so 12-point differential there. Florida was first in the Atlantic, third in the East, fourth in the league, but they may fall to fifth after the end of tonight. For Tampa, they were fourth in the Atlantic, sixth in the East, 13th in the league. They may be 14th by the end of the night. Goals for, Florida was 11th, might be 12th, 268. Goals against, 200, which is good enough for second in the NHL. Very good defense. Goal differential, plus 68. My head up there. Goals for Tampa, 291, which is 5th overall. Goals against, 268, which is 22nd. Goal differential, plus 23. Factors for these teams. For Florida, I put out youth, but both of these teams are very experienced overall. Florida's just got a little bit on the younger side. Playoff history, these teams have some. Back in 2021, they played each other for the first time. Florida was the higher seed, but in the first round, Tampa beat them in 6 on their way to a Stanley Cup. 2022, Florida finally wins their first round since 1996, and they won the President's Trophy that year, and Tampa sweeps them on their way to a finals appearance in the second round. 2024, question mark there because we don't know what's going to happen. I'm very excited for this series. This might be the series I'm most excited for in the Eastern Conference. Meetings this season, you can't really see it down there. Just by the way, the camera's angled. I tried to angle it better. But on December 27, 2023, Florida wins that one 3-2 in Tampa Bay. February 17th, 2024, it's a 9-2 win for Florida. 9-2. You heard that right, in Tampa Bay. So 2 wins in Tampa Bay for Florida. And then in Florida on March 16th, 2024, Tampa Bay wins 5-3. So like that Hurricanes and Islanders, this is a series that the road team has won every regular season game. Notable players, let's start with the Panthers. Reinhart, 82 games, 57 goals, 37 assists, 94 points. He was second in goals scored in the league this year. And he's an unrestricted free agent. So if Florida manages to bring him back, well, firstly, phenomenal. Secondly, he's going to be an elite threat here. Tkachuk, after a slow start, 80 games, still had 26 goals, 62 assists, 88 points, feeding Reinhart. Barkov, 73 games played. He can never stay a full season. It's incredible. 23 goals, 57 assists, 80 points. Verhaeghe, 76 games, 34 goals, 78 assists, 34 goals, 38 assists, 72 points in 76 games. I put Bennett on the board just because he's had 20 goals, 69 games, 20 goals, 21 assists, 41 points. Tarasenko I put on the board because of his deadline acquisition. 19 games played, 6 goals, 8 assists, 14 points, which is where I also forgot to mention Jake Getzel for the Hurricanes, so I wrote it down here. In Pittsburgh, 50 games played, 22 goals, 30 assists, 52 points. In Carolina, 8 goals, 17 assists, 25 points in 17 games, breaking a record for the most points by a deadline acquisition in history. That, of course, would be for the last preview, but I forgot to mention it. Also, I couldn't think of anyone else that had any notable deadline acquisitions since Washington traded theirs away. The Rangers had Wenberg and Roslovic, who haven't done. They're more depth bottom 6 guys. And the Islanders didn't do anything. So, there's that. We have 30 goals, 47 assists, 77 points in 67 games this year? Only 6? No, it can't be. It has to be 77 games this year. Yeah, my maths are failing me right now. But for goaltending, Bobrovsky, 58 games played, 36, 17, and 4 with a 9-15 save percentage. Bobrovsky has come back from the dead after having one of the most albatross of a contract in the sport. His contract is now not too bad for his performances. He's been to the Stanley Cup Final. He's won a President's Trophy, although that really wasn't too much him that year. But overall, Bobrovsky's starting to turn that contract around, and could argue he's worth it later on. Stolarz, 27 games played at 16-7-2 with a 925 save percentage, one of the best backups in the league for sure. On the Tampa side, you have Kucherov, leading the league in points this year, just like he did in 2019. 81 games played, 44 goals, 100 assists, phenomenal. 144 points. Point, maybe the most underrated player in the league. 81 games played, 46 goals, 44 assists, 80 points. Stamkos still scoring goals. That's another one who's a very underrated goal scorer. 79 games played, 40 goals, 41 assists, 81 points. Hedman, 78 games played, 13 goals, 63 assists, 76 points. My boy Brandon Hagel, 82 games, 26 goals. How many assists is that Saturday? 49 assists, 75 points. Yeah, they got him on a bargain deal. And that trade's looking even better for both Tampa and Chicago. I mean, Radish had a 20-goal season in Chicago. Kachuk is gone. We'll see what Oliver Moore does, the first-round pick this year. Of course, I'm going to want Tampa to lose because I want the higher of the picks that Tampa can give. But that trade is turning into one of the bigger ones of... I'm going to drop my marker. Bigger ones of the 2022 trade deadline. And then, last but not least, I cannot pick up my marker. There we go. Nick Paul made it to his 24 goals, 22 assists, 46 points. He's on an 8-year deal as well, and that's in 82 games. Cirelli, 79 games, 20 goals, 25 assists, 45 points. And not only their deadline acquisition that's made a notable impact. Of course, they acquired Matt Dumba from Arizona, but Anthony Duclair from San Jose, 17 games, 8 goals, 7 assists, 15 points. He's fit in perfectly with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Vasilevsky, 52 games played, 30, 20, and 2, 900. He's not his world beater self. He may have come back from his injury a little too soon, dampening his numbers. And Tampa really, you know them, they really don't care until it's playoff time. They clinch the playoffs, and they kind of just put it in cruise control mode. And they won their last game, but they were kind of in just, we don't care, wait till the playoffs until when they clinched. But that's going to be all I have for you guys in this one. Who do I think is winning this series? I'll be back in just a moment, and I'll tell you. Forgot to wear the jersey again, but I'm taking Florida in this series. I think it's going to be close. I think this series could go 7 games. But I think it's Florida's third time's the charm to beat Tampa Bay here. Once again, I'll mention it again in the bracket. But that's going to be all I have for you guys in this preview. Got one more to do today for the Eastern Conference, and then the West will be hopefully divided up over the next couple days here until the playoffs start on Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.